The OC had a Rhea Ripley problem. That's right, the OC feuding with the Judgment Day as we speak. The numbers are even when it comes to the men, but of course, Judgment Day have Rhea Ripley in their corner, a female, and she's not been afraid to get involved in their matches. Of course, she cost AJ Styles against Dominic Mysterio a couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw. She cost Carl Anderson a match last week on Raw against Finn Balor using a low blow. She even body slammed Luke Gallows during that match. So she's not afraid to get physical with the men. When Luke Gallows was backstage, he self-proclaimed he was the ladies' man of the group, went to go and confront Rhea Ripley, and straight after the adverts came back clutching himself in the downstairs area, clearly getting another low blow for his trouble. So how are the OC going to even up the odds? It clearly feels like they're going to need to recruit a female, and now looking at the history of the OC and the Bullet Club, I wouldn't say it's so obvious on who they would recruit. So that's what today's video is going to be based on. Who will the OC recruit to solve the Rhea Ripley problem to go against Judgment Day? Looking at people on the WWE roster, and potentially one or two returns may be discussed as well. So without further ado, the first name I'd like to discuss is Nikki Cross, who returned to Monday Night Raw last week. Of course, she got involved in the Bianca Belair versus Bayley match. She's been rumored for the White Six for the longest time, but it looks like that's not going to happen as she's returned to Raw, gone back to her old gimmick. And to be fair, we don't know where she stands at this point. Is she a babyface? Is she a heel? She cost Bianca Belair the match, so that could lean her towards the heel side, but she did take out all of Damage Control as well, and the referee, to be fair, to close off the show. Psycho Nikki is back, the unpredictable factor. It'd be interesting to see how she'll fit in on Monday Night Raw. To fit it in with this storyline, I mean, she has history with Rhea Ripley. She was tag team champions with Rhea Ripley as the Nikki ASH character. Of course, Nikki, she turned on Rhea when things were not going right, started the downward spiral. It could make logical sense to bring it in for this storyline, but going back to where we said how she returned last week on Raw, we're not sure what side she's going to stand on. Could the OC trust her if she was in their ranks? And to be honest, really, it looks like she wants to insert herself in and around the Women's Championship program. I think more than likely the fact she cost Bianca Belair the match, she will eventually end up on the heel side, and she could even be involved in War Games. The next superstar I want to talk about also has had history with Rhea Ripley this year. Of course, going for the Women's Tag Team Championships is Liv Morgan. Of course, Liv Morgan also was a rival of the Judgment Day when she was on Monday Night Raw. She now currently has moved over to SmackDown, but during her time with Raw, she was teaming with AJ Styles and Finn Balor before Finn Balor joined the group. So for her to come back in now could make a lot of sense storyline wise, but of course, if you look what happened since that rivalry, she won Money in the Bank, she won SmackDown Women's Championship, she moved over to SmackDown full time, she's lost that championship now, and she's slowly losing the plot with a crazy extreme character that we've got going on right now. And just have been another name that has been linked with the Wyatt Sixes. Everyone that's involved this year with Rhea Ripley being linked to that group going forward. It seems quite ironic, doesn't it? But at the same time, as I said, Liv Morgan, she's on SmackDown now. She's moved on from the feud with the Judgment Day. I'm actually quite interested in her current character direction of where it's going to go forward on SmackDown with this more extreme Liv Morgan that we've got. Plus, I don't really want to see her flip-flopping between shows every 5 minutes. I think that doesn't do the draft any favours. I know the draft is kind of a loose term at this point anyway, but still, the fact that she's been on SmackDown for only a couple of months, I don't want to see her come moving back over to Monday Night Raw. I'm sure there are different options that we could throw into this storyline instead. Which then leads me to start thinking, what about perhaps some free agents that are not in WWE right now? There's actually some reported interest in a few names. Certainly, Mia Yim would be someone I'd love to see fill in the role. Of course, she didn't get a good rub of the green in WWE the last time. She was part of Retribution as Reckoning. For her to come back right now, I think will be quite interesting. She's had some great matches in Impact Wrestling, where she was involved in the Queen of the Mountain match. She's had a great match with Mickie James as well, even going against the men in the Triple Threat Revolver match, of course, at Victory Road earlier this year. I think she'd be a great fit to come into Monday Night Raw, perhaps looking for her own Retribution coming back to WWE. Of course, Chelsea Green has been another name that's been linked as well. She's meant to wrap up her stuff that she's been doing in Impact Wrestling, looking to be WWE bound. Certainly got the look, she's got the height, someone that she could stand toe-to-toe against a Rhea Ripley. Would be interesting to see. Let's not forget the last couple of names mentioned. Also, the Good Brothers have just come from Impact Wrestling. They could have made friends whilst they were outside of the company. That is a natural way to bring those two names in. And of course, last but not least, Sean Ross Sapp has been reported reporting that there has been interest in bringing back Tegan Nox to the company. Of course, all three of those ladies have been in NXT at the same time that Rhea Ripley was. Maybe there was some long-standing history there they could work on with those three names. All speculation at this point. Not necessarily sure how WWE will bring them in, but certainly could be fun nonetheless. If we look at NXT, I think Roxanne Perez probably is the best fit at this point. She's had a showing on SmackDown where she was very good in her match. She had a match recently with Rhea Ripley on NXT as well, part of the Pick Your Poison in the feud with Cora Jade going on. And then a great match as well. Perhaps they could be looking for revenge. Roxanne Perez already years of experience above her age. I think she'd be a natural fit for Raw or SmackDown, a future champion in and amongst the company. But for me, I do think it could be slightly too soon. I'd like to see her become NXT Women's Champion first, and I do think she will be the one to dethrone Mandy Rose in the end. So let's come down to the final two names then, and someone that's been linked with AJ Styles in the past that I think could be a very good fit, Charlotte Flair. They were a part of Mixed Match Challenge together, I think back in, was it 2017? They did that together. Of course, AJ Styles doing some horrific woos at the time, but certainly both were very successful during that stage as a team. To bring Charlotte Flair back at this point, I think could be quite nice to see her back in the company. A different direction as well, could be a fresh character for her going forward. I think she could fit the narrative of the Too Sweet as well. Of course, if you look at the NWO history, of course, Ric Flair was never a part of that group, but certainly was a rival against that group back in the days of WCW. So for me, I think this could be just a different character change, something different all round. It could be fun to see Charlotte Flair do. Maybe fans, would they accept her as a babyface going forward? That for me, I feel is that the natural flaw to this. I think she's more suited to being a heel, and I think I'd be interested in seeing a more of aggressive side of Charlotte Flair. But if she was to come back in this role, maybe she could do that. She has history with Rhea Ripley on the Raw brand as well, so wouldn't be against it. I think it could be a fun idea, certainly be one of my top two. But the last name that I will talk about and who I think it will be, of course, who is the person that Rhea Ripley has had a rivalry with recently, or started a rivalry with. The rivalry with Judgment Day has been against Edge, and of course, how did Edge say I quit at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view? It was because Rhea Ripley took out Beth Phoenix, and of course eventually giving that concerto as well for the also good heel heat that she got. It was brutal, it was vicious, it was a delight to watch on our screen if you want to see someone get over at that moment. Beth Phoenix has been not around for the last few weeks. It would be the perfect time to bring her back now, to side with the OC, and who knows, perhaps in future as well, Edge still part of this storyline. We may even see Edge and AJ Styles reuniting team at some point as well, and perhaps maybe we could eventually get a one-on-one match between these two when they've got past the Judgment Day feud, and they can actually have the dream match that we expected all along. No shenanigans, no tomfoolery, just simple one-on-one action. So for me, my prediction at the end of this video is going to be none other than Beth Phoenix, the legend, to come back in. Perhaps Crown Jewel is the best place to bring her in to even out the numbers. That way the OC can pick up a victory on that show, and then perhaps we can lead to a 4-on-4 at Survivor Series. Certainly would be the way I'd like to see it go down. But who do you think it will be? Is it someone I've not mentioned? Let me know in the comments below right now if it's a name you think differently. If you agree, also let me know if you agree or not. If you've enjoyed this video as well, please hit the like button, share it with a friend as well, subscribe to SCW. Been a bit of a break on the channel, but looking to be back now, very active with videos going forward. Crown Jewel predictions will be on this channel tomorrow, so make sure to hit the notifications, as I say, as soon as the video goes live, so you can actually join us with the predictions and share your picks as well. And like I said, there'll be other videos on the channel for you right now in the archives, so I want to check out some of the ones on the screen right now for you. Have yourselves a great day. Thank you for taking the time to check out an SCW video as well, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Who are the OC going to recruit to fix the Rhea Ripley problem? In my opinion, it's going to be Beth Phoenix, but I will say as a backup, I would not mind seeing it be Charlotte Flair, just to see that change in character. I think that could be fun as well, but Beth will be my prediction. So yeah, let me know yours in the comments below now.